ask you a
putting,
question.
okay,
What is the difference?
what do you
What
mean?
is the difference between integrity and truth?
I'm not sure.
Well, because it's a fine dynamic. It's a complex dynamic, isn't it?
Sure.
You know, the dynamic of truth. Truth is facts,
Mm-hmm.
bare facts,
Yep.
without any um um uh, um uh,
Color.
no, no,
No.
any amplification. All right, it's the bare truth of a dynamic, and when you're down to the truth, you're down to the core of a situation. But if you're going to find the truth, generally what you have to do is simplify it. Think about that. If you really want to get down to a truth, a yes or no, a black or white, a positive or a negative,
Mm-hmm.
it's a dynamic of where it solidifies that energy and that dynamic. That's why in government right now they're trying to in these committee meetings that they're having, trying to approve the Secretary of
Right.
Defense and all of these other folks that they're trying in it. They boil things down and get things down to the point where it's overly simplistic, and they're trying to get a person to answer with a yes or no answer. And the problem is that it's a much more complex dynamic, and
Right. Right.
integrity requires looking at the whole picture. And within the dynamic of integrity, you can find a truth, but a truth will not necessarily be a singular dimension.
Right. Not one dimensional.
That's correct.
Right.
It's usually very seldom one dimensional in that
Right.
sort of way. You
Right.
know, so there are very few really, if you really get down to it, there are really very few yes or no answers.
Correct. I agree.
So, but again, it's that whole difference between understanding the difference between truth and the difference between integrity. Now, a lot of people in your world practice a false integrity. They think that you have to be able to tell the complete and whole truth absolutely all the time. And yet, there are those times where compassion, where love, where caring might say that you might not want to tell an outright lie, but you might want to be able to color the truth a little bit to avoid really harming someone else's
Right.
emotions, especially if they are in a particularly vulnerable place. And you know, if you look at the dynamic, a narcissist will relentlessly go after a person around the dynamic of their flaws and keep reminding them of that energetic dynamic to keep them off balance. But and they will do that by saying, no, it's this, and when you know that it's a much more complex dynamic, but
Yeah.
they're talking about one little piece of the dynamic, and you get so wrapped up in it because you're in conflict with yourself because what they are saying is a piece of the truth, but it's not the whole truth.
Got
And
it.
so it
Got it.
has you considering that little piece of the truth when, in other words, it's another one of those situations where it draws you in closer, where the real answer is to step back.
Okay. I love that. Thank you.